I'm making a cowl for the, this is all just dust from sanding, for the hypercooler for the transmission fluid. What I did was basically I measured out a rectangle, right? And then I just did not cut this part. And then I folded it back and then hammered it into the shape that I wanted. And then last night I put a underlayment of fiberglass down for my shape here and here. I don't like my shape here on the bottom. It's too squared off right here. So I'm coming back and I'm going to round this part up more and build this part up higher right here, and then round this part off more, and then add some in here. I have gap, and then thicken this up so that it's all basically the same thickness. And then what's on there is a filler sealer primer. I like to, when I get pretty close to the shape I'm after, I like to prime it and then sand it again, and that'll show me any spots. I mean, obviously right now I have tons of spots, but if I spray it now, then as I get closer, I'll know exactly what hasn't been hit yet for my low spots to make it perfect, or as perfect as I'm going to get it. So what's going to happen is the cooler is going to be facing that, like that, out. This is outside, so that will fit right in the hole there perfectly. And then it's going to bolt on to some spacers that are going to go on here. They obviously need to be trimmed down. Where does it go? I can't see, but one goes on this side and one goes right here. So they'll be trimmed down so they're not exposed. And then that will sit on top of them. Something like that. So then that will sit like that, with the fans facing out, or in, excuse me, with the fans facing in the bus, under the bus here. And so right here, all you will see is underneath of that. Now that's wired. I still need to hook up my ground, but I can screw that in anywhere. That's wired under, it goes under the bus. I found a hole right there in the floor. And then from there, I have to excuse the mess of construction and 12-week-old puppy chewing everything up that he can get his teeth on. Huh, stinker. So from there it goes through the floor right here. And I've added some insulation or whatever you want to call it. And then that'll get tucked back behind there. I haven't put the cover back on that because when I took it off, that's fucking gross. So I'm going to clean that all out, hit all this with the angle grinder, the rest. I did clean the cover up already and get a lot of the rust off of that, and that's going to get painted. Anyhow, so then the wire goes up from there, up here. It'll get tucked behind all these wires, and then, oh, that's getting squished. This is one of my, for my solar panels. this face here goes in front of this. So it'll get tucked back there. And from there, it runs down to the fuse panel outside. Down to, each one is on a relay. And then that goes up to the ground bus terminal. And then it goes up to the gray line goes, see each one has a gray one, and then they come together to one gray one, and that goes up to the switch right here that I put. I'll have proper labels on these, but that's temporary. And then the LED light, the batteries aren't on, but that when it's on, the LED light will remind me that those fans are on. I wanted the fans to have manual switch. That was a decision I made before I even bought it, because I want to be mindful of my transmission all the time. So I want to turn the switch on and off myself. I want to know when it's on, why it's on. I don't want to get complacent with my transmission ever again, and I want to be able to turn it on and off myself, so that I am constantly alert to what's going on with my transmission, so I don't have to do this shit again unless it has to be done because it is just a regular maintenance thing or something, but not because I fucked it up by running it too hot and working it too hard. Anyhow, so then this line goes from the relays in the fuse box to the ignition that goes down there, and then runs across here over to there through this panel, and then you can see it right here up here, and then it goes spliced in to my ignition right here. So this won't even be available to turn on and off unless the ignition's on. So if by some chance I forget to turn it off because I'm an airhead, then when I turn the ignition off, it will turn the fans off anyhow. Then I have new gauges on top of the fully digital gauges that I just bought through Blue Fire, but I'm still in the process of hooking up all of the new dash. I'll have a fully digital dash that will go on this. It'll be held by this guy here. I just bought an extension for the cable connector, whatever, Bluetooth thing, because I want it right here. I want the tablet to sit right here, something like that, and then I want these to sit right next to it, something like this. So the tablet's actually much bigger than that. It'll look something like this, and then it'll be big, and then this will sit somewhere right here. And then this will be a fully digital system over here, and then this analog old school gauges. The transmission 545 that I have does not have a TCM. It's completely mechanical. So there's, I'm sure, a way to get the temperature to be digital by a digital reader, but I didn't do that for whatever reason. I've had a lot going on between the fire and everything, and I just decided it'd be cooler to have an analog, old school digital, or old school gauge set. So I still need to get these in where they go. One's for the oil pressure, oil temperature, and transmission temperature. So those three need installed yet. And then the connector that goes to the data is right there. the Bluetooth isn't strong enough to send a signal from there to there, believe it or not. So I had to order the extension cable. So the data port will be plugged into the extension cable, and then that'll run up to somewhere up here, and then we'll have a digital dash. I'm also in the process of getting rid of my keys. Well, actually, no, let me backtrack. I once again, as usual, lost my keys, and I am in the process of, and I had already, before I lost the keys, ordered a keyless start system. So I am also wiring that in and replacing a transmission that I fucked up. So, watch your temperature gauges. I knew that my transmission temperature gauge was not working, along with a few other gauges on the dash, but I didn't bother to do anything about it because I'm a ditz. I don't know, because I didn't think it was urgently necessary at the moment, and obviously I was wrong. So that's what's going on with the bus, and I got the house. I had to rewire everything. I got the passenger side lights working. I had to take a panel off. I'll show you what's going on back there. But for the house power, I got the wire ran from the front to the back for the main circuits, as well as the Romex main line that'll go all the way down. And then I got the holes cut for the new puck lights that I'm installing, and wires started for those. So I'll have basically a straight line all the way down the bus. I'll have two right here in the entryway when you walk in. Bam, two. And then starting here in the front, going in a straight line all the way to the back. We'll have puck lights here and there and everywhere. Oh, where's the other hole? Right there. And that's what the fire did to my ceiling. I think it kind of looks cool, but anyways, so you'll have puck light every panel, and then another one right here, and then yeah, I'm redoing the ceiling, obviously, another one right there. So when I fixed the wiring for the bus that got destroyed from the fire, I hooked up the basic necessities, so like the clearance lights aren't hooked up, and the interior lights that you control from the driver's side cockpit aren't hooked up, but the brakes, turns, running lights, backup lights is what I was concerned with for right now. I got those all connected and then checked the lights, and the driver's side lights aren't working. So what I had to do was take this metal panel off so that I could get to the wires back there, and sure enough, they were melty. So next on the list at some point, long list, is I got the panel off, I got this all cleaned up. It was fucking gross, and now I get to sort through all those wires next, and then we'll have driver's side lights in the back. This is my new washing machine situation, and I'm in love with it, considering it's just me and my dogs. If it was more than that, I probably wouldn't be in love with it. But that's all I've got. It's just the three of us, so it works really well for me. And I just started using it yesterday, and I'm obsessed with it. I have spent a lot of my life in the mountains, and I like washing my own clothes typically. So this whole time I have been washing my own clothes on that right there, actually. and then I dry them on that right there. So now with the washer, I can just dry them on this. I did not want a dryer for a lot of reasons. As long as I wash in hot water, it kills anything, and then borax, obviously, it kills anything that I need killed, so I don't really need to dry in hot air. I like the crispiness. I don't know, I just like everything there is about it. So that's what I opted for, and I love it. These are the puck lights that I got. Oh no! I hope I didn't just break it. Okay. So these are really cool, I think. We'll see how it plays out. Because I didn't really have to drill holes or anything to mount them. They're spring loaded. So you just hook up the electrical wires and then insert them into the holes like this, and then when you put the wire through there and then insert them like this, and then when you release it, it should be sprung to the ceiling like that. I like the principle and the idea, but we'll see what it does in practicality and performance. And I got these strip lights for underneath stuff. I'm really excited about these. These are flush mount USB plugins. Very slick looking, in my opinion. By the time I get them hung, I bet you $1 USB gets phased out. Before that, I had been using cigarette lighters for USB chargers, and it's hard to get those flush, so that sucked. Tomorrow, this panel should be here. And we'll see if the fridge still works. It was $75. I got new upholstery for the seats because they were destroyed. That and ostrich skin is what I've decided to do the upholstery in. Do the couch and all sorts of fun stuff in that. This is the electric keyless start that I bought. I got all the wires started, got fuses installed in line, and so now I've just got to splice it into the bus. I was able to finally get a wiring diagram from justask.com, and I got a membership with them because they've been awesome and totally supportive and super helpful. So I pay that monthly and reap the rewards from it significantly. This is my water heater that I've wanted for years. It's a tankless constant hot in a matte black to match the bus. And then my new toilet. And yeah, that's the update.